years to create a library, an open source library for OpenCV. So essentially what that means is when our robots were competing on the field, we noticed that they weren't very consistent during the autonomous period because they're just moving based off of a set of pre-programmed instructions, and if one of our calculations were even the slightest bit off, it wouldn't do well on the field. So we thought, how can we optimize our robots on the field? And what we came up with was, let's give it eyes. So essentially, what happens is every year we have to put smartphones on our robots. And we thought, well, there's a camera on a smartphone, why don't we just use that? So we looked at Tesla cars, which use cameras to navigate on the road. And we built a library very, very similar to what they use on their cars. And we've been using that on our robots ever since. And we made it open source, so lots of other teams can use it. And it turns out that 100 teams across the globe are using it as well. So that was really successful. We also use something called Mechnum Drive. So if you look at that GIF of the robot that's driving over there, what makes it special is that not only does it move forward and backward like a normal robot would, but it would also move side to side and at any angle that you program it to move it. So this was really, really helpful on the field this year because we have to do a lot of tricky maneuvering during the driver controlled portion. So we can zip in and out of different places without having to turn the entire robot in one direction. So this was our drivetrain when we were building it. It ended up being a lot more complicated than we expected. We also had a pretty cool intake mechanism. So the clear one that you see on the left is the original prototype that we built. It was too heavy and it was made of Lexan, so we started prototyping and we reached out to the local library and we found that we could 3D print our own. So we designed another one, 3D printed it, put some noodles on it, made it spin really, really fast on an axle, and we saw that this really worked. So we have that on our robot right now. It's made of BBS.